What's up, everybody? We're back. We're here on today's edition of Queen City Reds. I was actually in Cincinnati last week, so wasn't able to get an episode up. This is episode 12. As always, if you're here, subscribe, comment, like. It helps us all out. Obviously, the Red season's pretty much over at this point. You're just looking for positives. They're 5-2 in September so far. Doing pretty well in the month of September. Did just lose 2 or 3 to the Mets, but did end the Mets 9-game winning streak. Saw some good things over the last week or so, but instead of kind of rehashing game by game or rehashing the week, I'm just going to go into some things I'm looking forward to and some things I'm going to be watching as the season comes to an end here in the next month or so. The first thing I will be watching is Elly De La Cruz. Listen, it doesn't matter if the Reds are 50 and 100 or if the Reds are 150. Elly De La Cruz is absolutely electric. Every time he gets up to the plate, I'm excited to watch him. He's got 23 home runs, 62 stolen bases, so he's going for 70. He hasn't been stealing a whole lot lately. I think he's probably getting tired. His OPS is at 820, leads the Reds in that category. Elly's just been having a really good year. Again, he has 23 homers, 33 doubles, 8 triples. He's just very fun to watch. Anytime I can watch the Reds, I probably look forward to watching Elly the most. So tune in, watch Elly. That's the number one thing I'll be watching, because as long as he's a Cincinnati Red, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy it. Hopefully the Reds can build around him here in the next couple of years. Second thing I will be watching is Noelvi Marte. Noelvi Marte has really struggled this season. He's got a 536 OPS. He's only hitting 199, 6 stolen bases, 4 home runs. He's really struggled. Noelvi Marte is still a young kid. Obviously, he was suspended 80 games for PEDs to start the year. I think that put him at a disadvantage. Yeah, he was in Arizona. You can work and practice and work out in Arizona. Pitching in Arizona is not pitching in the major leagues. I think he's picked up some bad habits, but you see signs of him here and there. I think he'll be fine. It does put a little question mark coming into next season if he even starts on the major league squad next year. I think he's going to have a big spring training to do so. But it'll be interesting. I'm a huge Noelvi Marte. I think he has all the talent in the world. Obviously, we saw what he did coming up last year. He hit 316, I think, coming up last year as a 21-year-old. He's got the talent. The talent's there. I think he works hard. I think this will probably make him work harder. And we'll just see with Noelvi Marte, but I'm just looking for improvements there. Improvements in the field. He struggled on the field. He started to look a lot better and then kind of fallen off again. Hasn't played a ton lately, which I'm not sure I completely agree with at this point. I guess you're just trying to win still, which I do get. I mean, fans want to watch people win, but at the same time, I mean, Noelvi Marte is a huge part of the future. I would probably just play him and let him work out the kinks. But we'll see. I'm going to watch Noelvi Marte and see if he shows any signs of progress, because I think he is a big part of the future. I'm going to be watching Rhett Lowder. Rhett Lowder has been incredible over his first 2 starts in the major leagues. 0-1 with a 0.87 ERA over 10 in the 3rd innings. He pitched into the 7th inning, I believe, his last start against the Astros. Rhett swept the Astros. They've won 9 straight against the Astros. Just a little nugget, a side nugget there, but that's pretty incredible. The Astros are a good team, and they just can't seem to beat the Reds. That's got to infuriate Astros fans. I know as a Reds fan, I get pretty ticked off when the Reds do not beat teams like the Pirates. I can't imagine when a team is as good as the Astros cannot beat a team like the Reds. So that's just an interesting little nugget. But Rhett Lowder's been awesome. I'll tell you what, I've seen some comparisons to someone like Mike Leake for Rhett Lowder. He's just a pitcher. He doesn't have the nastiest stuff in the world. His fastball isn't crazy overpowering. His changeup's pretty good. But he just seems to know how to pitch. Mixes up his pitches a lot. He's walked 4 guys, I think, both outings so far, which he doesn't really usually walk many guys. He barely walked guys in the minors. that could still be some nerves. Maybe he's just, pitching around guys scared to, attack the zone like he could in the minors, which makes sense. Obviously, guys have a lot more power and can do more damage in the majors. But regardless, with that being said, he's got a 0.87 ERA in his first 2 starts as a major leaguer. You can't ask for more than that after really struggling when he got called up to Double-A at first. And then obviously he got in the groove and was on a roll in Double-A. And then he pitched great in 1 start in Triple-A. And the Reds said, all right, we need starting pitching. You're coming up. Rhett Lowder's been awesome. I'm just excited to see him continue to pitch. I mean, at this point, if he continues to pitch like this, he's got a real shot to be in the rotation to start the year next year, which I probably would have never thought, especially how he started in Double-A this year. But I'm going to continue to watch Rhett Lowder. I'm sure the Reds will probably shut him down at some point, or they're at least going to limit his innings, limit his pitch counts, as he's still, this is the most innings he's probably ever going to throw coming from college. But Rhett Lowder's been exciting to watch. So pay attention on all the Rhett Lowder starts. All right, Julian Aguiar is who I'm going to pay attention to next. Obviously, he's a prospect as well, not near as big of a prospect as someone like Rhett Lowder. I think I've said this in the past. I probably compare Aguiar to someone like Carson Spires, a guy who can maybe be a 4 or 5 if you need him, but probably realistically a depth piece in the rotation, I think, and someone that maybe can give you some depth out of the bullpen. He doesn't have the nastiest stuff. He does throw a lot of strikes. He pitched really good yesterday versus the Mets, 4 2/3 scoreless. I'm just going to see how he continues to figure out how to get guys out on a major league level. I do think he could be a piece on the major league team. I don't think he's definitely not like a top 3 guy. I don't even think he's probably a full long-term starter with all the pitching depth in the Reds organization, but I do think he has a piece. I love how he pitches. He goes after guys. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So that's exciting. I'm going to just pay attention to see how Aguiar does the rest of the year. Speaking of prospects, I'm going to stay on the prospect train, and we're going to go to Connor Phillips. Connor Phillips was awesome in his last start. I think he's made 3 starts since he's been back from Arizona. The Reds sent him to Arizona after he was just struggling and seemed to lose all confidence. His first start was a lot of the same. He didn't look great. Second start showed a ton of improvement. Did give up some hard hit balls, but didn't walk a single guy, which is huge for him. And the last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, struck out 4. His fastball's been up to 99 to 100 mile per hour. So just going to continue to watch Connor Phillips pitch down in Louisville. I think Louisville has a couple weeks left in the season. But if he can get back to what he was last year and just continue to work on his command, he has the chance to be somebody that the Reds can count on in the rotation down the line. I was worried the way he started the season, but I think he can be, if he continues to improve. I love that the Reds sent him to Arizona to kind of regroup because it was bad. I mean, there's no sugarcoating around it. It was bad at the beginning of the year. He clearly had just lost his confidence, wasn't able to throw strikes. When he did, they were getting mashed. So I'm going to continue to watch Connor Phillips finish out the year, hopefully finish the year strong. And then the last thing, this short episode today, we're just going to wrap it up. The Tortugas and the Dayton Dragons, for those of you who don't follow the Reds minor league stat often, the Tortugas are the Reds low A team. The Dragons are the high A team. They both made the playoffs. The Dragons had a phenomenal year. The Tortugas were right around 500. Both of those playoff series start tomorrow. I believe you can watch on MiLB TV. Not sure how else. I'm going to look up some info on that, and I'll probably tweet it out. But I'm excited to watch both of those teams in the playoffs. It's exciting to have some young talent go through, a playoff series, even though it's the minor leagues. I know people say wins and losses don't matter in the minor leagues, but I think it's good to get, guys some experience of playing in games that mean something more. I'm definitely going to pay attention to that Dragons team. They're so much fun. They have Hector Rodriguez, Cam Collier, Leo Balcazar has been playing unbelievable. Ethan O'Donnell's been playing unbelievable. Sal Stewart's out for the year. Carlos Jorge is out for the year. But they just still have guys that have just come up and hit. And they're a fun team to watch. The Tortugas have some guys that are fun too. Sammy Stafuris had a great year. He was the Reds' second round pick last year. Adam Serwinowski's been great for them this year. He was out of high school last year. The Reds have a lot of young talent. I know people see like the Lookouts record and say, oh, there's no talent in the minor leagues. It's just a lot of it. The talent is in low A and high A. And some of the talent would be up to double A if the Reds weren't in a playoff push or the Dragons weren't in a playoff push. I think they wanted to keep the core together. Jay Allen's another one that's very fun to watch on the Dragons, but going to be paying attention to the Dragons and Tortugas and how they do in the playoffs. But with that, that's this week's episode of Queen City Reds. Short and sweet. The Reds play Atlanta tonight, a makeup game from a couple months ago. Nick Martinez is on the mound. It seems like that guy just pitches and pitches and pitches. Every other day, it seems like he's on the mound. Charlie Morton, I think, is going for the Braves. And then the Reds will go to St. Louis tomorrow to start a series with the Cardinals. Hopefully a big week for the Reds. Hopefully we see more positive signs from guys like Rhett Lowder, guys like Noelvi Marte, guys like, Elly. They're a big part of the future. Not that we don't want everyone else to do good things, but those are the guys that I'm really paying attention to extra to close out the year because they are all a big part of the future. With that, as always, if you've made it this far, subscribe, like, comment, do all of that. It really helps us out. And thank you for watching. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Go Reds. See ya.